beautiful. You should just be yourself.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell, which is on the side of the subscribe button, so that you can be notified every time that I upload my next videos. And last but not least, I cannot stress enough to leave your comments in the comment section. I love responding to you guys. I love interacting with you guys. If you actually been through this, if you can empathize, if you may have had a family member or a friend, or you might think that you're going through this, I definitely want to, you know, communicate down in the comment section below. But without further ado, you guys, we're going to get straight into this video. I'm here to talk to you guys about my ectopic pregnancy story. And I want to first off start by saying that listen and know your body. Your body will tell you things before you know anything. When you're hungry, your body lets you know that you're hungry. When you're thirsty or feeling dehydrated, your body shows you signs. Our bodies know, you know, just like with me, I'm anemic, and I know when my iron is really low, I'm really cold. So I have a low energy levels, as well as I eat a lot of ice, and that's when I know that my iron levels are dropping. So with all that being said, I knew that there was something wrong with this pregnancy very early on. And I'm thankful that I happened to listen to my body and the signs of my body and what my body was telling me. And, you know, I highly suggest that you do the same. The first thing that indicated that there was just something off is I found out that I was pregnant after my period, literally after my period. Before I tested positive, I tested negative 3 times before I got my period. And it said that I wasn't pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I'm not pregnant. And then immediately after that, I started my period. And after my period was finished, then I started to feel really, really nauseous. And I'm like, this is really weird. Like, why am I feeling super nauseous, like as if I'm pregnant? And something was just like, you know, go ahead and take a pregnancy test, which I bought 4 pregnancy tests from the dollar store. I took 3 and I had 1 left, and I was just like, that sounds so crazy, right? Like, why would I take a test when I already know that I'm not pregnant? But it, like I said, listen to your body, listen to the signs, listen to the things that your body is telling you to do. So I took the test and it said that I was pregnant, and I was in such shock and disbelief. Like, I literally took my pregnancy test 3 times and it told me I wasn't pregnant. I have my period, now I'm nauseous, and now I'm pregnant. What's going on? But, you know, I wanted to be a little optimistic but still cautious. So proceeding on, I wasn't feeling really pregnant. And so right off the back, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling pregnant. And I know that's crazy because, you know, every pregnancy is different. Everybody doesn't get morning sickness. Everybody doesn't have certain symptoms. But for some reason, I felt like I should have felt pregnant. And the only thing that I was experiencing is extreme tiredness. Like, I was super, super, super tired. And I don't know, it was just sending red flags to me. So I called the doctors. I told them that I was pregnant. I told them what happened, how I was bleeding like a normal period. And next thing you know, I take a pregnancy test after my period's gone and it's saying I'm pregnant. So what happened was the doctor said, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll test your HCG levels to see if they're rising. So the first time they tested, it was on a Monday, and my HCG levels was at 283. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that seems kind of low, but you know, hey, whatever, I'm probably in the early stages of pregnancy. So then we test 3 or 2 days later. We tested on Monday and then we tested on Wednesday. So then I go back on Wednesday and then they're at 439. So my doctors, they're like, you know, they send over congratulations. This is a healthy pregnancy. Everything's going good. Your HCG levels are rising. So this is a healthy pregnancy. But in the back of my mind, I knew that there was something off. Like I just wasn't, like I said, I wasn't feeling pregnant at all. Like it felt really odd. It felt really different than any pregnancy that I experienced. But all in all, I wanted to be optimistic. They set an appointment for me, but my appointment wasn't going to be until January 14th or 19th. I can't remember. And in my mind, I'm like, no, I need an ultrasound now, because I wanted to make sure that the baby was implanted and that it should have been how it should have been, because I did have a history of ectopic pregnancy. And I don't know why I kept going to ectopic pregnancy, but I really, in my mind, I'm like, I had a history of ectopic pregnancy. I'm explaining this to the doctors, like, I definitely need to be checked out. Like, I need to be seen. Like, I don't feel pregnant. I feel off, like, seriously. So they finally agreed, and they said, so on Wednesday I went in and my HCG levels were rising, but Friday they said, hey, come in, we'll give you an ultrasound, we'll see what's going on. So I said, cool. Me and my fiance, we go to my appointment, and there's no baby. They don't see any baby. Now, she did tell me that she was looking, she didn't see any signs of miscarriage, and she didn't see anything that would indicate ectopic pregnancy. And she told me that straight up. She didn't see anything that indicated ectopic pregnancy. But in my heart of hearts, I felt like something just wasn't right. And by me not seeing anything on the ultrasound where the baby was in the uterus, it even heightened my senses. And come to find out, my fiance told me that he had a dream that I was far along enough that my belly was big, but we went to the doctors, and the doctors had told us that, you know, we ended up losing the baby. Now, mind you, he didn't tell me this until the day Christmas Day or whatever, and I asked him, why wouldn't you tell me something like that? But he was like, you know, he took it as, you know, it was the enemy trying to, you know, throw him off, so he didn't want to, you know, put that out in the atmosphere. But he had his reservations as well as me, and he said that when we went into the ultrasound, he just was feeling uneasy, as well as I. And so anyways, proceeds with caution, moving forward, going on about my days. Fast forward Christmas Eve, you know, regular day, everything, you know, just getting ready and prepared for Christmas. And I started having excruciating pain in my stomach, to the point where I was hunched over. It sent a chill, like a chill up my spine. I had hot flash. It seemed like I was gonna pass out. Like, at first I was thinking it was dehydration, because I have been dehydrated before in my pregnancies. So what I ended up doing was I laid down and I was drinking water, and I had called on one of my sisters from church, and I just asked her, could she pray with me? And after we got done praying, my stomach, it was hurting, but it wasn't as intense as that pain was. Like, that pain, like, I wanted to go to the doctors, but mind you, I live in a city by myself. My fiance lives he lives in a different city than me, and it was just me and the children, and I was in so much pain that I couldn't even drive myself to the doctors if I wanted to. And you know, I'm just like, I'll just wait it out. So that was Christmas Eve. No, that was the day before Christmas Eve. This all happened the day before Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve comes, and I'm in a lot of pain. still. So at this point, I'm calling the doctors. Mind you, it's Christmas Eve. So I called the doctors. I spoke to a advice nurse in the morning, and the advice nurse basically advised me like I definitely needed to go into the doctors to see what was going on. Once I explained all of what was going on with me, they told me that I needed to go into the doctors, and that they would call back. They would call back between 9 and 12 or whatever, but they didn't call me back. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to the emergency room at this point. Like, I can't take it. So I ended up going to the emergency room. And as I was sitting in the emergency room, you know, it's Christmas Eve. It's packed. I'm kind of getting restless. I haven't eaten all day, mind you. So my body is really fatigued. I'm just tired. I'm kind of over it, and I'm getting ready to leave, but something told me to go to the front desk. So I go to the front desk and I say, hey, you know what, how many people are ahead of me? They're like 5 people. I'm like, nah, I got to go. So then I don't know, for some reason I was just like, you know what, do you want a urine sample? Because I have to go to the bathroom and I don't know what's going on. So she said, yeah, we'll take your urine sample. And so I went to the bathroom. I gave them I took my urine sample, and I really was thinking in my head that I wanted to leave, but something was telling me that I probably should stay. And I thank God, because I know it was the Holy Spirit telling me, hey, you need to stay because this thing is serious. To myself, you know what, I'm gonna put the urine sample down. I'm just gonna go find me something to eat, and then I'll drive back to whatever place is open, because mind you, it's Christmas Eve. Like, a lot of places were closed. So as I come out from the bathroom, and this is why I really feel like it was God, because I think that God really knew like I was gonna leave that hospital if I didn't get seen really soon, because I had already been there over 2-3 hours and I was just over it. So when I come out, there's a lady and she said, hey, I'm here to take you to ultrasound. So she took me down to ultrasound. When I went into ultrasound, you know, he's examining, but it just was something in the room. It just was so off. I can feel it even while he was doing the ultrasound. And he didn't just do a vaginal, but he did one on my stomach as well. And he was just taking a very long time, and it didn't seem normal to me. So then I come back, they draw my blood, and next thing you know, I'm in the room. And so once I'm in the room, they're not giving me any answers. It's a nurse that comes in, and they're basically like, you know, we're waiting for the doctor to come talk to you. It's going to take them 20 minutes. You know, and I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, I'm ready to go. And then when he seen that I was really ready to go, like, I was looking around for my stuff, like, I'm about to leave, like, this is, you know, I'll come back, like, you know, in a couple days, like, I'll come back after Christmas was over, you know what I'm saying? I was exhausted, and I just was like over being in the emergency room. And he seen on my face, mind you, I didn't bring a charger with me, so he was like, hey, you know what, I'll give you my charger. You need to stay here because this is like life or death. And I'm just looking at him like, sir, what are you talking about? Like, excuse me? Like, what are we talking about? So I wait some more time, and then one of the doctors come in, and he explains to me that it seems as if it's an ectopic pregnancy, which was my worst fear. And he says that it's further along than they think, and they're trying to figure out, do they do emergency surgery or do they give me a shot? And the OBGYN had an emergency C-section that he was in, you know? And so it's like they're giving me this information, and it's like everything is coming so fast at me, but then it's moving like really slow. And I don't know, I just was kind of like in a trance to the point where he was like, do you understand? And I'm just like, yeah. And I'm trying to process everything that they're telling me, you know, like, this is life-threatening surgery. internal bleeding, and I'm just like, wait a minute, like what? You know what I'm saying? And at that moment, I'm like, okay, this is not a game. Like, you're in danger here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm processing that this is not going to come, I'm not going to come out with the baby in the end of the results of this. You know what I mean? So, the OBGYN comes down and he basically explains to me that this is a very serious matter, and he wanted to check my stomach because they seen fluids, and he wanted to make sure that it wasn't blood, because if it was blood, so they gave me two options. The two options were either the surgery or I can do 2 shots. Last time, like I said, with my other baby, because I wasn't so far along, I only happened to get 1 shot. But because I was further along this time, I needed to get 2 shots. And you can either get 1, 2, or 3 shots. 3 is like the highest, and you know, 2 is up there as well. But he was saying my HCG levels was at 3,000 now. Now, mind you, the last time we checked, it was at 439. So if I never listened to my intuition and I was just going off, oh, my HCG levels is going up, and I didn't really have any pain at all except for the day before Christmas Eve, I would have missed the whole mark. That's why I am stressing that you definitely need to listen to your body. You need to listen to your body. Your body will tell you that there is something not right. There's something off, and you will know that, you know? So, currently up to date right now, I have a doctor's appointment. Today is Monday, and so they gave me the 2 shots. So today I'm going to check to see if my HCG levels are dropping, and the shot is the methotrexate, which I will do a video in itself, because that methotrexate is no joke. Yeah, so they want to see if the HCG levels are dropping, and then I go again on Thursday to see if it's dropping. Now, if it hasn't dropped, then surgery will be the next option, but I am trusting in God that that is not going to be the case for me. But yeah, so that's my ectopic story. If you have any questions or anything, or you have anything that you have learned or anything, just leave it in the comment section down below. I am definitely willing to chat it up with you. I figured that I was going to use this, allow my story and what I'm going through not to be a hindrance to me, but I was going to use it to help others, you know, to put the information that I have and put it out there, because a lot of people don't talk about ectopic pregnancies. I don't know why, but I always see miscarriage. I rarely see ectopic pregnancy. So yeah, I just wanted to share my story with you guys, and I will definitely have updates on if the levels dropped and everything like that. So you can definitely be tuned in, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, hear more from me, get to know me a little bit more. And I thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.